I'm gonna give you an answer you're not gonna like. Yeah, it's hard. Hey, this is such a hard question to answer, you guys. That's a really, really good sign too. Expect it to go terribly, like expect to fail. This sounds so bad, but I would blackmail them. I can't believe I'm talking about this. The best part of teaching Korean, and I have cried a few times at work, I don't know if I recommend it, honestly. Look at this. No. I got this from Daiso, by the way. It's so cute. I got it like months ago. Dun, dun, dun. Thumbnail. You have to turn off. I will suffer in the heat for this video. Guys, I did not want to wear a bra tonight, but I did it for the sake of this video. It's a sports bra though. It's great. It's awesome. So that's why I'm flat-chested today. It feels great. Sometimes it's just really nice to feel flat-chested. I don't know. Is that just me? Is that TMI? I don't think so. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe we should start talking about teaching now. Okay. I don't know. Hey everybody. Yo, what's up? Cherie here. Yeah. It is a Wednesday evening, just a random Wednesday evening, and I thought that I would just answer all of your questions that you've sent me about being an English teacher here in Korea. I haven't talked about it that much in detail recently, and I thought it might be nice for you guys because I do get messages quite often with you guys asking me about so many questions about teaching in Korea. And since I've been here for almost a year as a teacher now, I feel like this might be a good time for a Q&A. So let's do it. I posted on my story this morning, which if you're not following me, you are missing out. I'm not gonna tell you to follow me, but if you aren't, you are actually missing out because I talk to you guys a lot on Instagram, on my story and everything. But anyways, I got so many questions from you guys. I did not expect this, but yeah, I asked you guys this morning to send me questions for a Q&A that I'm doing right now. And I'm just gonna go through and answer them. I haven't really read all of them, so these are gonna be very just off the top of my head answers. Hopefully that's okay. Yeah, it should be a good time. I'm really excited to kind of delve into talking about teaching again, which I haven't talked about again in a while, so I'm very excited. And for those of you who are new here, hello, hi, my name is Cherie. I'm 25 years old, I'm from America, and I am here as an English teacher in Korea, and I also do YouTube. So it's like I have 2 jobs, it's great. So yeah, this is gonna be a good time. Okay, now let's start with the Q&A. Let's go. Okay. First question. During classes, do you speak only in English or do you need to know some Korean to explain? You don't need to know any Korean. I know like some Korean, but I'm not allowed to speak it to my students. It's best if I let my students know that I don't speak Korean because then they'll try harder to speak English to me. Personally though, it is kind of nice to know what your students are saying when they speak Korean, or if they're talking about you, or if they're saying that something is difficult or hard or something. Like, it's helpful for me to just like be able to listen in and like hear the students and what they're talking about. I find that very helpful. Like, I don't know, it's nice to like just have an inside scoop on like what's going on in the students' heads. So yeah, I still play dumb though. So yeah, you don't need to know Korean. I suggest it, but like you don't need to know it for teaching at all. I need to make a disclaimer. So everything that I'm saying in this video is just based on my personal experience and my own research that I've done. Like people can have different opinions about it. This is just my own personal opinion and my own personal experiences that I'm drawing this information from. So yeah, okay, let's continue. Next question. Do you ever create and teach your own lesson plans, or is it by book? It's basically by book. Like, I hardly spend time on lesson plans, to be honest. Like today I walked into one of my classes and like I hadn't even looked at like the pages that I was teaching today because it's just that easy for me. We just teach 2 pages usually out of a book, and it's really, really simple. And then we do like some workbook pages. Like it's so simple. So yeah. Ooh, next question's about money. Okay, what is the average salary and how many hours do you work a week? I think typically for English teachers in Korea, typically it's between like 2 million and like 2.4 million won. So if you want to change that into USD, 2 million won is about $1,490 per month, and 2,400,000 is about $1,788 per month. I know that doesn't sound like much, but your school does pay for your apartment. So that is about like, I would say an extra $500 to like $750 a month, depending on where you live. And so yeah. And how many hours do you work per week? I don't know. I think it's like 45-ish. I work about 9 hours 3 times a week, and then 8 hours 2 times a week. It's about 43 hours-ish, and a little less than that, like 42, 43. Yeah. But I know some people it's 9 to 6 every day at some hogwarts, so that is 9 hours times 5 is is 45. So I'd say around 40 to 45 hours per week. But next question, do you feel like you have to take work home or do you have enough planned time? Ever since getting to Korea, even at my last hogwarts, like I never took work home. That's not a part of my contract. That's not what I need to do. And especially at my hogwarts that I've been at for the past like 8 months, like I usually have an hour and a half of prep time every day. Sometimes more. On Tuesdays, Thursdays, I have a lot more prep time. So guys, I never take work home ever. And I always have enough time to plan during my break time. And also like I'm really not doing that much. Because again, lesson planning is really simple if you work at a hogwarts like I do. So yeah. Yeah, I work at a hogwarts by the way. This is nothing to do with Epic. This is just, yeah, the hogwarts life. My own personal experience is with hogwarts. So yeah. I'm a weirdo. This next question is really difficult to answer. It's what is the best way to find out which hogwarts are good or not when looking for a job? I'm gonna give you an answer you're not gonna like, but I would say like 80 to 90% of hogwarts suck, from my personal experience. I somehow happened to get into a top tier hogwarts. Like my hogwarts is the best. It's amazing. Like they're so nice, and my hogwarts is definitely the exception. I started out a pretty awful hogwarts. So yeah, I know how it is. I know the bad and I know the good side. So I know that hogwarts are good. Some hogwarts are actually really, really good, but others aren't. Wait, what? I have a message. I'm not gonna answer it because I'm talking to you guys. I did make a video when I switched jobs, like that's what the video is called. Like I quit my teaching job in Korea and got a new one. So in that video, there's a section where I talk about the interview process and like what types of questions I like to ask in order to figure out which hogwarts are most likely good and which ones are most likely bad. For me though, generally, like the more candid they are about your questions, the better hogwarts it is. If they're really like vague in their answers, I would say that's not a very good hogwarts. And it's honestly really hard to tell. So yeah, if you want to go watch that video though, I did talk about like the questions asked in an interview, so you can go check that video out. This is such a hard question to answer, you guys. It all depends on like the contract for me and whether they're vague or not. Also, okay, if there are teachers that have been there for a long time, that's a really, really good sign too. Like my current hogwarts, one of the teachers has been there for 7 years, one of the foreign teachers. And another one of the foreign teachers has been there for like 4 years, and then there's me. So that was a really good sign. My last hogwarts, none of them had been there for a year. Not even a year. Yeah. So that was a bad sign. So depending on how long the other foreign teachers have been there, I would say that's good. That's a really good indicator of whether it's a good hogwarts or not, because then people maybe liked it enough to actually renew the contract, you know? So yeah, that's what I would say about that. Hopefully that helps. It's really hard to figure it out, because again, most of the hogwarts are not the best. So yeah, it's a difficult, sticky situation, this hogwarts life. I'm not gonna lie. It's not easy. Okay, next question. Tips for your first day teaching. Oh, so exciting. This is, again, another answer you're probably not gonna want to hear when I first say it, but expect it to go terribly. Like, expect to fail. Because it is your first day, you are gonna mess a lot of stuff up. Things are gonna get messy and stuff, but on the positive side of things, this is probably the worst you'll ever be as a teacher, you know, your first day. That's what I told myself when I started working at my new hogwarts. I was like, everything's gonna go uphill from here. Because like, you gotta learn, right? And you learn through making mistakes. And so just expect to make a lot of mistakes, expect to fail. Know that everyone's not expecting anything of you anyways, because it's your first day. So like, it will only go up. So I would just say like, don't put super high expectations on yourself. Just expect like a lot of things to go wrong, but like be okay with that, basically. That's the advice I would give you. I don't know if that's helpful or not, but that's the advice that I tell myself every time I start a new job or do something new. So yeah, take the pressure off yourself, okay? You got this. Oh, this next question is actually a really, really good one. It's how did you manage to get your letter of release when people say it's difficult to? Okay, so a letter of release is basically what your hogwarts has to give you before you can get another teaching job in Korea. It's just a document saying that they like release you from working at that hogwarts and that you can get a new one, get a new job. Without a letter of release, another hogwarts cannot hire you. So letter of releases are very important. And what I've learned since getting to Korea is that a lot of hogwarts just like don't give them out, ever. I don't know why mine did. I honestly have no idea. Like they just gave it to me. It was like a few days late, but they gave it to me. They said they would give it to me. They let me leave. And apparently that's super rare, and I didn't realize that it was so rare. Like, I just did not realize it. So honestly, I don't know. Like, my Hogwarts, like, my first Hogwarts that I was at, I think it used to be good, and then management switched, and then things were just insane. And so things started to go downhill. So it wasn't like it was a bad Hogwarts all this time. It was just starting to go really downhill, and the people who took up management were just not the best. So I don't know if it's because it was in a very transition-y time that they just gave me my letter of release. I honestly have no idea. Also, this might have helped, but one of my coworkers, his girlfriend was Korean, and she was a lawyer. So we used her a lot. Oh, okay, let me think of the best way to give an answer, because again, I don't know why I got mine so easily. Honestly, just a stroke of luck. Truly. But what I would do now if I was at a bad Hogwarts and I wanted a letter of release, so what I would do, this sounds so bad, but I would blackmail them. Basically, I would record all of like the awful things and document all the bad things that they're doing that's against the contract, that's against the code of conduct and stuff like that. I would document it all, record it all. So if like my boss was yelling at me like every day, I would record that or something. And then if I ask for my letter of release and they say no, I'll be like, okay, well, I'm going to put together a case for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs or something. It's something that protects like English teachers like us. I don't remember what it's called. I will find it and put it in the description. But I would basically be like, okay, well, I'm gonna take all of this and make a case against this school because you guys are being terrible. And so that's blackmail. I can't believe I'm talking about this, but I really, like, I've heard that that's a way to do it. To just get all this evidence and present it to them. Another way is to bargain, to be like, okay, well, how about you just don't pay me like my last month working here, like the last 2 months, just don't pay me, but just give me my letter of release. Bargaining might help, blackmail might help, but other than that, I'm not entirely sure. Because again, I honestly, I feel like God somehow helped me get my letter of release because I really don't know how. Next question. Sorry, this is taking a while to answer these questions, but also I think that this is information that is valuable, so yeah, I'm sorry. Next question. Do the parents support you or do you not really interact with them? I do not interact with them. At my current Hogwarts, I'm not a homeroom teacher. I just like am the English teacher. So the homeroom teachers, which are all Korean, they deal with the parents and everything like that. I just hear stuff about the parents from the homeroom teacher, so I never interact with them, which I'm very grateful for because Korean parents can be really scary. So yeah. Next question. What age level do you teach? So I teach one Korean 6-year-old class, which means they're about 5. They're 4 to 5 international age, and then I teach 3 7-year-old kindergarten classes, so they're between 5 and 6 years old international age, and I also teach a few elementary classes. I love my elementary classes, and for my elementary classes, they range between 1st grade and 4th grade. I might have a 5th grade. Wait, I think I have some 5th grade. I'm not sure. They're sorted by levels, not their grades, so that's why I don't know all of their grades, but yeah. And my elementary students are like my favorite. I love them so much. Kindergarten's great, but like I vibe the most with elementary. Next question. What's one piece of advice you'd give to someone who wants to teach in Korea? I actually don't know. I don't know. Because it really depends on which Hogwarts you end up at, but like my advice would just be like, get ready to grow and learn a lot. And because I feel like I've grown and learned so much since coming here, and I have honestly become a lot more mature and a lot more level-headed, and I just learned a lot about, and I've really learned to like stand up for myself. And so just expect to learn a lot and to grow a lot no matter what situation you get in. And also again, if you're going the Hogwarts, you really could end up in a bad situation, but just know that like you'll get through it. But yeah, don't take this situation lightly. Like don't take moving to Korea lightly. And being a teacher, like it is hard work. There is a lot that goes into it, so just be aware of that. And I would advise you to just like look into the reality of the situation, what it's gonna be like. Maybe watch more YouTubers, reach out to some people who have done it, and just like do your research so you kind of know what you're getting into. Yeah. Oh my gosh, my friend Soleil asked me a question. She's part of the EPIC program, and she's a good friend of mine. But she was like, what prep do you have to do at a Hogwarts? Not much prep. Like I have to make a weekly lesson plan, but again, it's just like 2 pages of a book. Easy peasy. And then, I mean, I have to do like student reports every 2 months, but that's, oh my gosh, my battery's dying. No, is it actually dying? Oh shoot, no. Give me a second. The battery is changed. Woohoo. Okay, hopefully this battery is fully charged. I honestly don't know. Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, what was it? Oh, so today's question, what prep do you have to do at Hogwarts? It's really easy. You have to do a lesson plan every week, but I don't have to prepare any like materials or make any homework or anything like that. Like I just go in and teach my lesson based on the 2 pages that I have to do per day. And then the workbook. You do 2 pages of student book, 2 pages of workbook, and it's just like really simple. Next question, is it hard? Do you enjoy working with the kids? Hope you're well. I am doing well, thank you for asking. Yeah, it's hard. I think like any job that you do is kind of hard in one way or another. Yeah, dealing with kids is hard. Yeah, like a Hogwarts life is kind of hard, but also like it's not too hard that I'm not enjoying myself. Like I'm still enjoying myself and I'm able to grow and learn a lot. I feel like there's such a negative connotation with like doing hard things. Like, oh, I'm not gonna do this because it's hard. I'm not gonna do this because it's hard. But honestly, some of the best things we can do with our life is push ourselves into doing hard things because again, we grow, we stretch ourselves, we develop more attributes and qualities in ourselves, and we learn so much about ourselves. So honestly, I like doing hard things because it proves to me that I can do hard things, which builds my confidence. And again, I'm just like growing in so many ways. So it's not too hard for me. It's definitely bearable. And I do enjoy working with the kids. Like sometimes I get really annoyed, but after 8 months of being with these students in particular, like I love them so much and they're lovely for the most part. Like my heart goes out to them. Yeah. Why does everyone message me when I'm filming? Like, what is this? People never message me, and then when I'm filming, everyone's like, oh, I want to talk. Yeah, no. I'm talking to you guys. Oh, this question's interesting. What's the best part of teaching in Korea and the worst part? The best part of teaching Korea for me is that I'm in Korea, and I love like being in Korea. I love being able to travel. I like being able to make content here. I don't know, I like my friends here. Like I like the environment. Like I really do like the environment of living in Korea, and so I think that's the best part of it. Just having a visa to be able to live in Korea, it's great. I love it. The worst part is, the worst part of teaching in Korea is, the worst part, you guys, is the lack of holidays that I get off as in Hogwarts. I was just talking to my friend Noelle, who's in the EPIC program. She freaking gets 26 days off this year. I get 10. 10! No, but all of them are used up. I got 5 days of winter break, 5 days of summer break, and then all the national holidays off. That's not a lot. In the EPIC program, they get all the national holidays off, plus 26 days. So for me working at Hogwarts, that's the worst part, is that I don't get a lot of vacation days. Yeah, but the best part is being in Korea, so yeah. Next question, which I think is a really good question. It says, would teaching abroad be beneficial if teaching isn't your professional goal? Well, funny enough, teaching isn't my professional goal. I honestly came to Korea to be an English teacher to just try living out in this country for a year to see what it's like, because I did study abroad here for a year, but studying abroad and living in a country is vastly different. And so I wanted to see what it would actually be like to live here. So it was kind of me testing that out. And then it was also me like being able to film content. Like that was one of the main reasons I wanted to come here to Korea. Was first of all, like I love the country, and then I want to see how living here would be, but then also to do content, to do YouTube videos and share my experiences with you guys. So I did not come because I want to be a teacher professionally. I was just kind of the gateway to a lot of other things. So I think it's fine. I do have a lot of teaching experience though before coming here, which was really helpful. And like if you're coming here, like expect that you're gonna work hard. You are going to work hard. Like your Hogwarts putting a lot of money on you to come here and teach like their students. And so it is important to know that you will be doing hard work. So yeah, you can come here if teaching's not your professional goal, because it's like not mine. But you have to know, you still need to put in the work, like at your Hogwarts. Like it's still have to work. You know, it's not a vacation, basically. So that's what I would say. I do think it's a kind of a cool experience though, to come here even just for a year and, you know, live in another country. You learn so much about yourself and about other people. So I still think it's very beneficial. Sorry, back to the question about it being beneficial or not. Yeah, I think you can benefit a lot from the experience. Yeah. That's my thoughts on that. Next question, do you have stressful days? Some years my mom's students didn't behave. Of course I have stressful days, yeah. 100%. 100%. I get all the stressful days, honestly. And I have cried a few times at work, but that's just because I made mistakes and I was like really hard on myself. But anyways, yeah, things get stressful, things get hard for sure. But I feel like, again, that happens with a lot of jobs, you know, it's not just teaching. And it's also a part of life. And we can't experience joy without sadness. We can't experience like the best days ever, without having like bad ones too. It's, you know, we can't have one without the other. And so, yeah, I have stressful days for sure, but we all do, which is why we should all be kind to each other. And yeah, it is what it is. There are situations at my school have been stressful, but it's part of life. And again, it's not too much that I can't handle at all. I have way more happy days than I have stressful days, so yeah. This question is very interesting. How is teaching in Korea different than when you taught in China? For those of you who don't know, in 2016, when I was just 18 years old, I went and I taught English in China for 4 months. I was in southern China. It was vastly different though, because I went through a teaching program and I was actually a volunteer. So I didn't get paid. I paid to go there and do like volunteer work basically and teach students. So yeah, I wasn't getting paid, and I only taught from like 8:30 a.m. until like 12:30 p.m. So just like 4 hours, and then I was free the rest of the day. It was very chill, and it was a different teaching method than like any TESOL or TEFL methods of teaching. So it was vastly different. I definitely prefer Korea a lot more over China, but that's just my own personal preference. But yeah, it was very, very different because it was two totally different things. So yeah. China was my first experience ever teaching English though. And I went because it seemed impossible for me to do it. And so I was like, well, might as well go and prove to myself that I can do it. So I did. And I did it. It was great. Okay, next question. Do you recommend it? I am considering coming next fall, but I don't know if I should do Epic or a Hagwon. I don't know if I recommend it, honestly, because again, I know that my good Hagwon is a very, like that doesn't happen at all. Like I've gotten so many messages from people saying that their Hagwons are terrible. And so generally like it's hard for me to recommend it because my situation is good, but again, I've experienced the bad Hagwon and the good one, and without that letter of release, it's really hard to leave a Hagwon when it's bad. And so I don't know if I recommend it, to be honest. Based on like my personal experience with my Hagwon, I'm like, yeah, this is great. I could recommend it for sure. But again, that's like only like 10 to 20% of the Hagwons are good. Oh yeah, this person says, I don't know if I should do Epic or a Hagwon. I would say if it's your first time really getting out and teaching in Korea, I would do Epic. Honestly, you kind of have insurance with Epic. Like you're more taken care of by Epic, and they're kind of in charge of you in the schools, and it's public schools, so you get off earlier and stuff like that. You have more vacation time. But again, I can't really recommend Epic because I've never done it. Just do your research if you're going the Hagwon route. Do your research, know what you're getting yourself into, look at the risks and all of that. And you could end up in a place like me. You could, but you also couldn't. And so you need to like prepare in case that happens, basically. Do I recommend it? It's still a really hard question to answer, to be honest. It's a hard question to answer. You wouldn't think so, but it is. I just like don't want you guys to like experience like the hard Hagwon life that I did when I first got here. So that's why it's hard for me to recommend it, I think. It really depends on which Hagwon you end up at. So yeah, I'm sorry if that doesn't really answer your question. I don't know, I had a hard time with this one. Next question says, I know that you have a degree in education, but is it mandatory to have one to teach? I don't know what you mean by degree. I mean, I have a TESOL certificate, but my bachelor's degree is not in education. My bachelor's degree was actually in intercultural peace building. Yeah, and I got an entrepreneurship certificate and a TESOL certificate from my university that I graduated from in Hawaii. So you don't need a degree in education to teach. I would highly suggest getting a TESOL certificate though, because while it's not like required for most jobs, like it's how you get the good ones, the good jobs, okay? And they're way more likely to hire you if you have a TESOL certificate. So I think that is worth, if you do want to come teach in Korea for a while, or like you want to get a good job here, I would recommend getting a TESOL certificate, but you don't need a degree in education. Ooh, next question. How tiring is it to be an English teacher in Korea? Also, maybe consider buying bug spray. Yeah, I found a few bugs in my apartment the past like month, so that hasn't been fun. That's what you guys are missing out on from my Instagram. Me and my bug adventures in my apartment. Yeah, how tiring is it to be an English teacher in Korea? Based on my personal experience at my Hagwon, like it's tiring, but it's totally bearable. The reason why I'm so tired all the freaking time is because I basically have two jobs. I have my Hagwon job, and then I have YouTube. YouTube, I literally work 20 to 30 hours on YouTube every week. It might not seem like that, but I do. With all the editing and all the filming that I do, it's like another part-time job, and that's why I'm tired all the time. Cause like my current Hogwarts, my schedule is Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9 to 6, Tuesday, Thursday, 9 to 4:40 p.m. So it's not that bad. I still have evenings and stuff and weekends and all of that, but what makes me tired and what's made me like struggle a lot with like taking care of myself physically and like my health has just been the fact that I've been doing YouTube and Hogwarts life, and it's a lot. It's a lot of work, and so that's what makes it tiring for me. But again, from my own personal experience at my Hogwarts, like it's not that tiring. I'm always on autopilot nowadays at work because it's just the same routine. Things aren't getting switched up very much. It's just, you know, chill. I mean, I'm still very engaged in my classes, but I don't have to really think a lot. So it's not mentally tiring really anymore. It's chill. Sometimes when my life is actually a mess, it's almost nice to go to work because I'm like, okay, just get to focus on some kids for a bit. So yeah. Next question, do you feel it's a good way to save money or is it too expensive of a life there? Based on my experience, I think it's a great way to save money, honestly. Like, I have never been more financially stable in my life. Maybe that's because I made a lot of bad financial choices like years and years ago, but still, like, it's surprisingly easy for me to save money here. Because again, you hear the salary and you're like, that's not a lot, but I don't have to pay for my rent, which is like a huge chunk of money. And then I don't know, just like the lifestyle here for me is just like, it's not that expensive. It's been weird how much I've been able to like easily save money here because I still spend a decent amount, but I'm saving a lot. And so for me personally, I think it's a great way to save money. I know a lot of people who have come here for a year as an English teacher and they have like $10,000 saved up by the time their contract ends. Like, it's just easy in a way to save. And I travel a lot here too, if you guys haven't noticed. So yeah, I save a lot of my money for traveling. Like, I'm a minimalist in certain ways, but then I'm not in other ways. Like, I don't know. For me, it's like super good. It's a great way to save money. So yeah. I don't think life is too expensive here at all. Next question, do you regret it? That is pretty, okay, straightforward. No, I don't regret it. I don't regret it at all. Like, even my last Hogwarts, I feel like I learned so much from it because I learned how to stand up for myself. I learned what I deserve, and I learned not to be like pushed around by people. So it was a very good, like, strengthening moment for me. It was hard, and I'm super happy that I left. That was me choosing my own happiness, which was great. And this current Hogwarts has been great. And like, YouTube's been really fun to do. It's been really fun to experiment and do YouTube here in Korea a lot and focus a lot on you guys. It's been hard, but it's been so worth it. And I love living here. I've made some of the best friends ever. I've had some of the most amazing experiences here. Like, I'm gonna look back on this time of my life in the future and just reminisce in how lovely and amazing it was. There are struggles a lot. I've had a lot of health issues again because I've been overworking myself a lot. But like, I will never regret coming over here and teaching English. It's been one of like the best years for me. It's been difficult and tiring, and you know, I've had some issues, but I don't regret it at all. Oh, and I guess that is the last question. There you go, friends. I didn't answer everybody's, but because you guys sent a lot, but those are the ones that I am answering in this video for you today. Yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I hope that this was really helpful. I'm thinking of actually making a video all about like, if you want to teach English in Korea, this is everything. This is the whole process for you to go through. Like, I want to make a video about that because that would have been really helpful for me when I was planning on coming over here and I was so lost with everything to do. So I do want to make a video about the whole process of it, of coming over here to teach. So if you want to see that video, please give this video a thumbs up so that I can know, or leave a comment below. Yeah, I want to start making more content that helps you guys out. So hopefully I'll be able to do that. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really hope that it was helpful for you and answered some of your questions or concerns regarding coming to Korea and teaching English. If you have any other questions, be sure to jot them down below in a comment and I will most likely respond to you. I read every single one of my comments and I respond to a lot of them too. So yeah, be sure to thumbs up this video if you liked it, subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, and press the notification button so that you never miss out on any video from me. Yeah, and if you're new to the channel and you just subscribed, welcome to the family. It's a fun time here. Yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna get going, and because it's like 8 p.m. and I'm gonna upload a video tonight, so I should get going to do that. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, you guys. You're the best, and I love you so much, and I will see you soon with another video. Bye! Oh,